Overlooked perhaps in the current turmoil that is Zaire is a plan to hold its first multi-party presidential election. No date has been set, but the balloting is expected before the year ends. It must be noted that the election process in Zaire is tenuous and past elections have been cancelled or the results ignored by Zaire's ruler of 31 years, Mobutu Sese Seko. If and when they do occur, our guest will be one of the candidates. Stephen Nziza is the founder of both the People's Progressive Party and the International Christian University of Zaire, Zambia and Congo. He has lived and worked in the US as a pastor since 1982. Dr. Nziza, if we look at Zaire now, we have the president undergoing cancer treatment in Monaco. We have the prime minister in Nairobi, who's in fact been ousted from power by the parliament. Is anyone in power in Kinshasa?
Yes, what you have right now in Kinshasa is an example of a vacuum and the end of the old regime. The people of Zaire are demanding change, and the time for change has come. We want democracy, we want elections, and we're ready to vote our leaders.
Why would you want to be president?
The people of Zaire have suffered enough. The silent majority, which I represent, is screaming every day. They want Mobutu to go, and they want the small minority, the elites, who are destroying our country, to leave. Our country has enough mineral resources, enough resources that can allow us to build our country and go for prosperity. I want to bring in Zaire prosperity. I want to bring in Zaire peace. I want to bring progress in Zaire.
But you have been outside the country for 15 years. What gives you the confidence that the people will really recognize you as their leader?
Well, the good news is I've been in the country since the beginning of this decade. I've been every time in Zaire. In 1990, I started to build a university in Zaire, and in 1992, the university started. I created and founded the International Christian University in Zaire, of which I am the chancellor. I built a small hospital in Zaire. My university, International Christian University of Zaire, is the first bilingual university built in that country since independence. I listen to the people of Zaire, I know the people of Zaire, and I am present in Zaire. In fact, my presence in Zaire is felt everywhere we have been able to work.
Do you think that the current crisis your country has now, power vacuum in the capital, the rebels holding a third of the country, do you think a negotiated settlement is possible and that Mr. Kabila will be the obvious strongman and successor here?
Kabila and Mobutu are alike. Mr. Kabila, if he wants democracy in Zaire, what we are looking for is election. He must join the democratic process. There is a process. Zaire is not a jungle, it's a country. Mr. Kabila and Mr. Mobutu are the same people. We cannot trade from one dictator to another dictator. Mr. Mobutu came to us and lied to us in 1965 when he took over power, promising elections, and Kabila is coming with the same tactic. We don't need another strong man. We need elections. We're ready for election, and Mr. Kabila is welcome to come and participate in the process of elections.
Do you think at this stage a negotiated settlement is possible to end the civil war?
There is no civil war in Zaire, though it may seem as it is. People of Zaire want Mobutu out, and Mr. Kabila is not fighting any real army. Mr. Mobutu disarmed the army in 1989, so what we have now is Kabila walking in a real vacuum. The only military power that is in Zaire is in Guadalito, Mobutu's home village, and the rest of Zaire has no real defense to protect themselves.
What do you think the existing supporters of President Mobutu, what do you think their next tactic will be?
Well, I believe that Mobutu's camp is confused. Kabila and Mobutu both are supported from outside, and inside the country, Mobutu's people are in panic because they understand this is the end of their era. And the people of Zaire want election, need election, and are demanding election right now.
You keep mentioning the need for elections, but what gives you the confidence that there will even be elections in Zaire?
Well, the only hope for Zaire is democracy. And the only way democracy can work is when people can vote. And I believe I'm calling to our partners around the world, our partners for democracy, to make sure that if they stood for Bosnia, if they stood for Israel, if they stood for Haiti, if they stood for any other country have been claiming for democracy, Zaire needs help, and the time is now. There will be election for Zaire because the silent majority, if they don't have what they're asking for, they will speak for themselves.
How soon are you going to go back to Zaire then and start campaigning?
Yes, I'll be going back to Zaire as soon as practical.
Which means?
Which means that we are working to make the Zaire case known around the world, to build the momentum that will help the people, to help our people speak for themselves, which means that I'm ready to go as soon as we have the guidelines for elections and we have the international community to join us to monitor the elections.
Right, with that, our thanks to Stephen Nzita, candidate for president of Zaire for the People's Progressive Party, which he founded, and he joined us from the CNN Center in Atlanta.
Thank you very much.